This way too early NFL Week 1 picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 100 times your entry with Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Sign up with SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by the Mega Memorial Merch Sale, 15% off of everything in the SGPN merch store with the promo code SGPN May.
What's up? It's the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, The Miz, and you are watching SGPN, and it is awesome. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Fucking mid-season form. Colby running late with his college bullshit.
Yep.
If you're interested, I think they just broke down week 7 of the upcoming season.
Week 7, yeah, and then
if you're into that,
and then Patty C left some props behind.
we have to start.
Sorry.
We have to talk about it.
Yeah, I go to
everyone has this person in their workplace, whether it's like gross shit in the bathroom, the kitchen. I don't even want to say this is gross shit. It's just leaving parts of your being behind in common spaces.
My wife, anytime my wife borrows the truck, we even call them test drop it. She always I have a meticulous truck. It is waxed. Everything's like nice and in order, organized. There's always, it's like hair ties, water bottles, coffee cups, like just spreads out. There's always something there. I go to sit in my seat and I go to sit down. I'm like, there's like this strap, almost like is this a book bag? Is this a purse on the on my chair? And I pull it up. Patty C left his belt in the studio. So he was. I said to Colby, I showed him the belt. I go, Colby, I don't know what kind of show you're running here with Patty C. That's you guys have full creative control, but clean up after yourself. Yeah.
They were doing their David Carradine bit. It's their closer.
I have to. In what context does Patty C like? All right, Oklahoma, Texas. Better take off the belt.
Well, I mean,
does he take the belt off? We got to go break down the footage and see Patty C take off his belt.
He brings. There is a change of clothes generally.
Yes.
When he shows up, like any on air talent, you gotta get done up, but. For whatever reason, I don't know. There were multiple belts. I feel like I walked in here at one point and there were multiple belts on the ground. Maybe so. Back to the David Carradine theory. Why do you need 2 belts, Sean? Are you changing from one belt to the other? The bag. I think you maybe got here late enough. The bag and always a plastic or paper bag with him. In addition to some sort of messenger bag or maybe a backpack, that's all over the bar. It's just
the belt. I mean, again, I know we run a casual workplace, Brian, but I've never like felt so comfortable at work.
What's this? What is this over here?
The Patty C support cushion.
It's a couple.
Right. Don't throw that out. Cause if he develops some sort of condition because not having his support pillow, his high chair. I mean, come on. You're just setting us up for a lawsuit, right? We don't have that kind of cash laying.
Anyway. Yeah. Never a dull moment when Patty C comes through the studio.
College experience guys running late. Make sure you subscribe to that podcast. If you can find the moment where you believe Patty C took off his belt, hit me up with the time code and you'll win a SGPN gift card.
I will say that he does like to get comfortable. Sean, you know this, right? The shoes come off.
Oh yeah.
All right. So but
again, it is a casual workplace, but like,
well, no, let's break this down. What's the environment got to be like for you to take your shoes off at work?
I don't think I've ever taken my shoes off at work. Never.
Yeah,
Never.
I'm trying to maybe you're at the beach, like an office, like an offsite.
Sure. I mean, I mean, I guess that's technically work. I don't. And
you know, it's gonna help me get prepared for the show. I mean,
right.
My shoes off.
We go to Veasan. Well, also I
we just start taking our shoes off.
Yeah,
in the
imagine. I've worked in pretty. I mean, I worked in a Hollywood writers' room. Like, it's a pretty casual environment.
Yeah,
you can dress like you want. You worked in tech in California. It's not uptight.
But bad comparison, because I did have to tell an employee that he smelled really bad, and that it was offense. Like he was being rude by smelling this bad around other people.
Really?
Grown man with children.
Was there a cultural element?
Nope.
Really?
This was a white guy, very smart, off the spectrum. Part of the problem. Probably didn't realize it was offensive to smell bad things.
I see the chat is all up in it. Shout out to Jong, chat legend himself, Cannabis Capper, the merch guy, Jake Paquin checking in, Easy, Detroit's own, Patrick Fisher, Cleveland's own, Brad Ward. Brad keeps DMing us these insane same game parlays he hits. So hopefully, Brad, you're sharing those in the Discord because. And also, Brad, feel free to send those before they hit. I know it's awesome to tout after the fact, but Ryan, our group text with Brad is just, Cleveland Sports Insight, which I like getting a local report.
Well, usually it's me overstepping my
or
boundary.
Him correcting our reporting on the Browns or the Cavaliers. Yeah. But feel free to toss us those same game parlays, Brad, before they hit. Always like to toss those in.
Brad's a good DM to pull up when the wife's like, "Who are you DMing with?" Like, don't worry, it's just picks.
Yeah,
just picks. Picks of picks.
Picks. Let's see. We got a lot to get to. We're going to break down all the NFL Week 1 lines, and before we do that, shout out to Rhythm. If you haven't already downloaded the Rhythm app, what are you waiting for? They got a 7-day free trial. Rhythm is going to be with us here for the next few months. So you got NBA, you got WNBA, you got golf. Shout out to Rhythm. They gave out Naz Reid over 9.5 points, put up 15 tonight. T-Wolves didn't get the win. Kind of surprising game 1 win by the Mavs. Hats off to the Mavs, but Rhythm was all over the Naz Reid over. And again, Rhythm allows you to create your own custom NBA models. And we're going to be putting out a post on how to do your own models. That's something you're interested in. Really cool program. Again, the picks are solid. The data is great. Start a free 7-day trial and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm, available wherever you get your apps. Also, Ryan, I'm rocking the DGen University t-shirt. I got the DGen University
very
mug.
fire.
It is because it's graduation season. I'm going to be traveling. Brother-in-laws are getting graduating high school, but I figure good time to remind everyone, dgen.university. Get in your applications. We will be announcing our next graduate sometime next week. So still time. I know a lot of people already sent in their applications. If you already sent one in, you are still under consideration. If you have updates to your application, feel free to send those in. If you're new, feel free to send those in, dgen.university. And of course, promo code SGPN May, 15% off everything with the Mega Memorial merch sale, including this sweet shirt I got rocking. Jake hooked it up. We got some new SGPN and Sports Gambling Podcast camo sweatshirts. You can get those stored at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Promo code SGPN May.
Yeah, I saw some DGen. I was digging around some stuff, Sean, and I found some DGen University
I
shirts
love the DJ
in the office. I will say it's the #1 thing that we've made. So in terms of high school, middle school aged girls, DGen University sweatshirt, pretty high up there. They
really. Well, it is.
I go. Does anyone ever ask you? And so my younger daughter, a couple of times, she's been asked, which university is this? And she explains that basically that her dad has a media company that has a university.
Yes. People.
And I think at that point,
I wonder how many
stifles
people
them.
see that and think it's actually a university and not just a calling card for our fellow DGens out there.
That was the point. I think they're like, yeah, no one's gonna ask. It just looks like a normal college that someone doesn't know, and no one asks questions nowadays about what. Oh, I've never seen that college. What? That's not how conversations happen anymore. You don't. You get punched in the face for trying to ask someone what their T-shirt means.
Well, it's like Fight Club. You see DGen University, you know. It's a fellow DGen. You're in good company with some DGen University gear. Ryan, we do the way too early NFL Week 1's episode. It's turned
usually.
What do you mean usually?
There's probably a couple years of existence where we didn't get into it this early because they didn't have lines this early.
Yeah, I think as soon as with the proliferation of sports gambling, as soon as they've had these early lines, we've always been breaking them down. We did it last year.
May 14th.
May 14th. So a little behind schedule, Ryan.
I think it was related to us being in Vegas. We had the Win Studio at our disposal, so it seemed like a good opportunity to talk NFL lines.
Okay. So what were the highlights from our way too early Week 1 picks? Did we change a lot of our picks from the actual Week 1 NFL picks episode?
I would say the highlight for you would be the Rams
money line. I was all over that.
Kind of leaned into that dog position, stayed on that dog position months later when we broke it down. For me, it was the Falcons. I couldn't believe they were only laying 3 against those Carolina Panthers. We were way ahead of market on that. Some things that surprised me: the way too early number on Kansas City was 7, closed at 4.5.
Well, that was the Kelsey was a late scratch.
Still 2.5 points for Kelsey.
Yeah, come
on. I somehow got off my Ravens onto the Texans during the offseason period. I guess the biggest thing that stood out to me, kind of more macro, is exactly what you would expect. A lot of the line movement, kind of in hindsight, made a lot of sense just based on which team are people going to bet on. Like that's the part you don't always have to overthink, and a lot of it is just going to be driven off of. So Atlanta, Carolina, for example, we discussed it on the way too early. It was 3. It closed at 3.5. In hindsight, that's very obvious, right? You have one team that has a rookie quarterback. Could the offseason go in a suboptimal way and people are questioning how good that team's going to be? Yeah. So when you're thinking about it, that would be my big take.
Well, and I would also say, and we're going to go through these games as well. And obviously we're going to be going through and kind of point out some ones maybe we think are going to move one way or the other. Yeah, no, I mean it's interesting looking back, especially we always like Pittsburgh Week 1. We liked them last year Week 1. They were 2.5 point home dogs against the 49ers, and 49ers
so
blew out 30-7.
That was actually,
but if you watch that game, they were kind of in that game. It was a very frustrating game. It wasn't quite as bad as the score would suggest. And now, Ryan, flash forward to an entire year later, Pittsburgh once again 2.5 point dogs, and we're talking ourselves into the Steelers.
Not only that, but it actually moved from 3 last year to 2.5.
Yes,
and we probably going to be involved in another one this year where the movement is going to seem a little bit obvious once we discuss it. So,
and of course, all these picks will be in the NFL futures doc if you're on the Patreon. Again, picks are always free, but the Patreon, the sheets are very easy to reference. You can go back, especially with the NFL futures. Go back and hey, you like the episode, but I forget who did Ryan and Sean have for offensive, defensive rookie of the years. You don't have to go back and re-listen and find where we did that. You save some time there.
Yeah. Or you're like Malcolm and you just enjoy the jokes. You don't pay attention to the picks.
He goes, mate, by the time I'm done listening, I've forgotten who you've picked.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I never remember your picks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Malcolm.
remember someone said to me, yeah, there's guys I listen to for information and guys I listen to for entertainment. And they clearly were meaning the entertainment for our show, Ryan.
Nice.
But,
that's good.
Hey, it is a show. I remind that to all our hosts. It is a fucking show. This is show business. Let's have a little fun. And I think the record speaks for itself as far as picking a bunch of winners.
Oh yeah. Also harder to be entertaining than have good data nowadays. I mean, you nerds are competing with fucking robots. Quantum computing. Good luck with your qubits.
Yeah, can a AI machine get really mad at Juan from Walgreens and spend 20 minutes? Can an AI machine be smart enough to go at UFL Jeff sucks? Can an automated intelligence machine be smart enough to start a war with the press credential guy from spring football?
Yeah, I'll even give you an equation.
No.
What do you mean? No.
Yeah, AI is not smarter than me.
Oh, but then the UFL. Well, but it could start the war with UFL.
Well, but it wouldn't know. It wouldn't know that that's the thing to do.
Meanwhile, I was taking it the other way. Like UFL is so dumb that AI could take them.
Okay. Yes. No, I'm saying our show, the moments like going to war against UFL Jeff, going to war against Juan from Walgreens.
No, I
those
agree.
are things AI is not smart enough to do. If you're just reading off you're staring into a camera, reading off your pics that your model spit out like you're a fucking hostage, AI is coming for you.
Patty C plus AI could take down some of the smartest people in the world, but won't make them any funnier.
Well, Ryan, you're implying that Patty C is not also in that category of smartest guys in the world.
True. That's exactly what I'm implying.
Hey, when does Patty C get his belt back? If we can set a over under on the number of days before he's driving home and he realizes his belt's not here.
Patty C played fairly high level football in a well developed country. The likelihood that
I'm sending a group text to Patty C and Colby.
The likelihood that he also has above average intelligence is just low. That's just not how humans are made. You get one or the other. You rarely see the people that get to have the brain and the brawn. Patty C got the brawn. Patty C's all muscle. No.
Okay, I'm gonna text Patty C.
He's even got the long hair and the man.
I'm gonna text Patty C about his belt, and if we get an update, I will break into the show with that news. Right?
Generally, what comes off first, the shoes or the belt? Just I'm trying to understand the order of operations. All right. Oh no, I see Magic Man Blanco's in the.
This is all the hardcore DJs coming out of the woodwork, like,
creeping out.
Hey, got any of them NFL picks like that Chappelle meme?
He says he's a big fan of the UFL show, which
love it.
I guess we won't cancel it, although we might not have lines this week. We're not sure. He says he ruptured his bicep. How the fuck does that happen?
Oh, I just took off to get some whacking in Sound Drop.
I think he ran into some real solid stuff in the Pooh River. He had some Italians come through town.
Is there like was there a log jam he had to get down in there and like? I hope you're all right, Magic Man. I hope you're doing well. Hopefully the Pooh River didn't take you out.
I'm sure he's doing fine.
Oh, he's doing great. Guy is a.
Do you think I think if feels like he would be the kind of person that we would have speak at DGen University.
Yes, definitely. What are those honorary diplomas?
We gotta get. You know what he is? He's the guy that yells at the recruits. He's the drill sergeant.
Okay,
make sure they're fit for duty.
I like that. Maybe the pledge master for DGen University. I think we should send Magic Man Blanco a DGen University degree so he can hang it up at the Pooh River facility. And I'd like that photo sent to me.
I will say you do get a cool graduation hat emoji in Discord.
Yes.
If you do graduate from DGen University.
And I printed out a freaking diploma that Ryan and I signed. So
it's very nice.
It is. Great card stock.
And if you ever meet us in person, we will give you that deferred handshake as well. At least I will. Sean just laughed. 100%. I think it's a great idea. I love the community. Happy to shake your hand, even if it's a little moist. All right. Thursday night football, as is tradition. The Chiefs open the season, laying a number, but this time it's against a conference foe, and it's the Ravens. Awesome color matchup. We thought this might have something to do with that purple red look ahead last year for the Super Bowl. Did not.
They couldn't play them each other in the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
Okay.
Baltimore is headed into Kansas City here, a spot that Kansas City is. I wouldn't say they're always locked in to open the season.
I think they are.
Andy Reid in general is good, but we do remember last year against the team that was going to be in contention, and that team used the Chiefs as a statement and a little bit of a way to launch their season off. Anyway, Chiefs laying 3 -155 on the money line. Ravens +130. 46.5 is the total. Chiefs also, are they going to start slow? A little bit of question mark. Rashee Rice, he's participating in the offseason stuff. He's probably not going to be there for a couple weeks. The intrigue of Worthy, Kelsey with his bloated dad bod from too much private jet travel.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, what is the Ravens defense going to be without Mike McDonald, who's now on to the Seattle head coaching spot, who I think slowly we're going to find ourselves slightly intrigued by that team collectively based on at least the stuff that I've been pulling out so far, more positive than negative. Anyway, I don't know if I can lay the number here. Maybe I'm just biased based on seeing last year and seeing how we were wrong. But
yeah.
All right, so
that's too much of an instant reaction, right?
Could this number move either way? Without like major injury.
Yeah, could it move? Let's see. It's sitting at 3. It feels like it's going to be close to 3. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2.5. I think a lot of people like you, Ryan, are going to talk themselves into the Ravens. Harbaugh, also a quarter coach who's good.
He'll be coming off a 4-game win streak in the 3-game win streak in the preseason.
Lamar is always a guy that gets a lot of preseason hype. I feel like, yeah. And I think it's easy to talk yourself into the Ravens, and I usually do like the Ravens early. They're one of those, one of the teams that really start out pretty well. So there's a lot going for them. I think people will talk themselves into the Ravens. I think there's Chiefs fatigue, Mahomes fatigue. You throw in the whole Taylor Swift aspect. I think the betting public is kind of fatigued with the whole Chiefs experience.
So you think that's going to create value in the Chiefs? Because I'm pretty sure this opened at 2.5. So it's okay. It's been bet up, I guess. But that makes sense.
I would say if it's going to move anywhere, it would close less than 3. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like 1.5. And Andy Reid with the Chiefs has only lost 2 openers. Detroit last year was one of them. Do you know the other year he lost his opener, Ryan?
Was it with Philly?
No, I'm only going Kansas City years.
I don't know. Was it the other year they won the Super Bowl?
2014 with the Tennessee Titans. So he's only lost once with Patrick Mahomes as his starter opening day. That's a great nugget. You're going to be leading that when you're doing your hits, when you've come to your senses and taken the Kansas City Chiefs at home, Arrowhead, prime time. Ryan, I mean, come on. This is what you're doing. You're looking at this Kansas City Chiefs team, and you're looking at them last year. Last year, Ryan, they were a cancer patient because why? Well, yeah, they had a cancer named Kadarius Toney. Okay, cancerous Tony. They got rid of Tony. I mean, Kadarius Toney. If he was not in that Lions game, they would have won by
they would have won
2 scores.
It's true.
The more I talk this out, the more I'm on KC -3.
The last time the Chiefs were coming off a Super Bowl victory, they opened the season on Thursday night. They were playing a conference foe.
No, what do you mean? They were coming off a Super Bowl last year.
What do you mean? No, I know.
Okay.
No, I'm saying before that. I'm giving you another data point in the sample. They were funny enough. They weren't taking on Lamar Jackson. They were taking on Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. Got the cover in that spot. I'm
not touching Deshaun Watson.
My thought on this show is I'm not going to run into situations where the line is going to
and I think you nailed it. Andy Reid with a shit ton time to prepare against a new defensive coordinator. I'm betting on that sight unseen. I mean, you could put Steve DeBerg back there. I'm betting on Andy Reid with more time to prepare against a rookie defensive coordinator.
Will Harrison Buckner be kicking for the Chiefs?
Yes.
In this game.
Yes. And I speak for all football fans. No one cares about Harrison Butker. No one cares what he says at speeches. No one cares. Take your culture war clickbait and put it in another algorithm. Cause I want to talk about action. I want to talk about best ball stacks. I want to talk about early lines. I don't want to talk about the opinions of Harrison Butker. So please take that elsewhere. No one cares.
Strong. Spags has done well against Lamar in the past. worth noting.
Oh yeah, AFC Championship game.
So I do like the matchup here. I'll take the Chiefs.
What?
I'll take the Chiefs.
Now I don't like the Chiefs.
What do you mean?
Much.
You thought I was going to be on the Ravens?
No, you have been hyping up the Ravens in the office, right?
I like the Ravens this season upcoming. This is a tough spot. I do think that there's certain matchups for Lamar that I just don't like. All right, we don't jump ahead to Sunday.
No, Friday night in Brazil. Ryan, if we're doing this as a warm up, as a dress rehearsal for the real NFL picture, I got. What am I doing? I got to get.
Go get
hold
your.
on.
What do you got? Like you got like a gun? You got your gun, right?
Oh, I do have a gun.
Okay. What do you didn't? Well, you want to change and also get your gun if you're going to be in Brazil. We got to make sure and a bottle of water, fresh water. I will say my bold prediction on the Brazil game is that one of the teams comes back with some sort of horrible, like either a stomach bug or some sort of sickness that creates unpleasant scenes in the locker room. Hopefully it's the Eagles. Green Bay, Philadelphia. This is going to be played at. I'm going to wait for Sean on this one because I think there's a chance he might try to venture down to Brazil, which I don't know if I'm dying to go watch a football game in Brazil. It's going to be played on some soccer grass. We know there's going to be issues with slippage. Who knows? They'll if things go well, I think they'll probably have a nice hip drop tackle. Oh, nice. All right. So Sean is in Brazil, ready for the game. Nice.
Let's go to Brazil,
nice.
baby. Got my gun.
Oh no, you want to hold it the other way. Yeah, there you go.
Hold it. Yeah. You look cool holding it sideways.
Make sure you.
What up, Brazil? Brazil.
Yeah, and who was the guy that kept flashing his gun on his Instagram and got in trouble in the NBA?
Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Ja Morant.
Remember,
so we don't. Luckily,
he only flashes fake guns because he doesn't have any real guns around him because he's not that kind
I
of
got
gangster.
real guns. Let's go.
All right, so we remember. You don't want to travel with the gun, like FedEx or some sort of private shipping company.
No, I know a couple guys or one guy in particular who works for us, Kramer. Learned that the hard way. You cannot take a gun on your carry-on. So make sure you check those pre-flight.
Embarrassing story. Friday night, 5:20 p.m. on the West Coast. So what time is that local time in Brazil? Have you dialed in the?
It's actually they're in. Dude,
they're ahead of East, right?
Yeah, I think it's 4 hours.
They're like that weird Nova Scotia time zone.
Shout out to our buddies in Nova Scotia, Ryan.
Love Canada
and our good buddies up north.
Oh, Canada, we love our beaver. All
right, so we're in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yep. 9:20 kick. That's crazy.
It's pretty late, but they like to party late. You do the siesta in the afternoon, and then you party all through the night. The Packers, nice wholesome Midwestern team from Green Bay. They're heading down along with the Philadelphia Eagles. I cannot wait to see the videos of Eagles fans in Brazil.
GLES Eagles.
Some Eagles fans getting their ass beat by some hard ass fucking gangsters. Eagles -1, -125 on the money line, +105 for the Packers. 48.5 is the total. So these teams are even. Is that what I'm seeing? Is that how this is being portrayed? Even.
Yeah, I think that's insulting.
Roughly.
Obviously, I'm going to be taking the Eagles here, laying the 1. This is a great price. Lock it in now. I don't think this gets to 3 either way. So, I mean, either way, I think whatever happens between now and kick, barring crazy injury, I think it's going to end up being close to a pick here. Green Bay catching a lot of hype. Obviously, Eagles ended the season complete and utter disaster, but the bounce back starts Friday night in São Paulo. I liked what the Eagles did. I liked the Fangio bringing him in as DC. Both coordinators were pretty outmatched from last season there. And you look at the Jalen Carter already, like a huge Fangio fan, loves that Fangio's coaching him tough. Optimistic about what they did with their secondary, bringing in Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. They're getting rid, and they brought back Avonte Maddox in the nickel spot. I think that's huge. Saquon Barkley. I mean, how far am I down? I haven't mentioned they picked up Saquon Barkley.
Oh, I think you said he was washed up last year.
Yeah, with that offensive line. Yeah, but now behind the Eagles' offensive line,
Kelsey coming back.
There's a small chance Kelsey comes back.
Oh, okay. He's not working for ESPN.
Yeah, he is. But I'm saying I would say there's a small chance. But I'm optimistic. I like their offensive line. They're all coached up by Jeff Stoutland. They're going to go down. They're going to get this win. Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni have not lost the opener yet, and I don't think that changes come Friday night, NFL Week 1.
Any concern about just the general difference of the travel?
What do you mean difference of the travel?
Oh, just going to a different country, dealing with that whole rigmarole. To start the year Eagles versus being in the middle of the year.
Yeah, I would much rather have it at the beginning of the year than the middle of the year. Beginning of the year is like, okay, hey, this is just an interesting start to the season. Then they have a long break until the following Monday night for their home opener. So pretty easy to get set up for that. They're not going to be they're going to be completely fresh going into that. They're probably going to be able to leave pretty early because they're checked out of the preseason games. Whereas once you get that routine set, you get the body clock going, you get all that other stuff set up. That's where it gets weird. And then they come back and they play Monday night week 2. So it's only an hour time difference. Yeah, I really think they lucked out as far as if you're going to play a game in Brazil, now is the time to play it.
So I did a little bit of research on American football popularity in Brazil. It's pretty high.
Okay.
And for
please just call it football, Ryan. Come on.
For very silly reasons, the Brazilian people took a liking to the Green Bay Packers because their colors,
green and yellow,
are very much like the Brazilian national team. Packers are the most popular team in Brazil. Apparently the Patriots are quite popular too, because everyone knows about all the German migration in the 1940s and 50s from Germany to Brazil, and their love of Tom Brady and witches. But could this be a situation where the Eagles have been boned, losing a home game, and then having to play a virtual road game with all these Packer fans in Brazil?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, we've seen these international games. There's rarely a home field impact.
What do you mean the Jags? Jags have the
Jags, I guess, is probably the closest, and even that is that's not a home field that actually impacts the number.
I think you have to take the Eagles laying the point. There's no way this number moves.
Let's go.
There's no way the number moves the other way. That's the rule right now. I'm not putting myself into a bad CLV situation. That's all I realize that's all I need to care about for my reputation. All right, Sunday, which Sean, we've got a nice 8 games for God's Eye to display for us. Maybe we'll pull out the teardrop and do a little red zone on the big TV.
Well, Ryan, I'll be in Vegas, but you can do whatever you want here in God's Eye.
Well, we're definitely going to Vegas.
I am.
Okay, good. Let's announce it. Jags. I thought you might be going to Brazil.
Yeah, but I'll be in Vegas for Sunday.
Oh, really?
If I go to Brazil, I'm gonna come back to Vegas for Sunday.
Sean, straight from Brazil to Vegas.
Yeah.
Excellent. Jags.
You don't think they run? Come on. You don't think they have a direct line from Sao Paulo to Vegas?
No, you're going to be up late on Friday night. Who knows when you'll get there? Jacksonville, Miami, the Dolphins, little Florida on Florida game here. Dolphins laying 3, -175 on the money line. Jags +155. 49 is the total. That money line's pretty steep. That tells me the 3 is probably juiced up pretty heavily. I'd imagine the more interesting side is the Dolphins here, but this is one of those week 1 games where something weird happens. I think the Dolphins come in with a lot of expectations.
Really?
And you don't think so?
No, I feel like people are down on the Dolphins.
Oh, I think 100%. There's questions about what the future of Tua is going to look like. This is another year where they're going to be coming in with this high-powered offense, and I think this line tells me people don't have any question about the defense, because Jacksonville definitely has a better roster. definitely has a better roster.
But also,
what do they not have better other than receiver?
Yeah, receiver. I think quarterback's kind of even. Miami plays well at home early.
I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence than Tua.
Long term, yeah. But I'm saying I mean, look at their numbers last year, especially early in the season. That's when Tua shines, right? Before he gets his concussions, before the weather gets cold. Now, the Florida heat and humidity, which is usually an advantage for Miami in these early home games, probably not. Doesn't really impact the Jacksonville guys that much.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do the whole.
I would worry about Jacksonville's defense being able to slow down this Miami offense.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jacksonville's defense will. I think they did well to add to it, and I think it does have components of a pass rush that can give Tua problems. And there's a part of my brain that thinks, what if Miami comes out this year and the gimmicky offense is just solved for. And all these speed guys running around. But
they got Jonnu Smith, Ryan, going to be catching.
No, I all these speed guys running around, and maybe it doesn't start off well. And honestly, what I would point to early is I wonder if they've replaced some of the stuff they lost both on offense and defensive lines. So I have to take Jacksonville here. I think Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is going to start. I think Jacksonville is going to got some winnable games in their schedule early on. I know it's Miami early. I wish this wasn't a Florida team. Then I could lay the points. But I do think there's an element here. They're not going to catch someone with the humidity.
I would say this is one of the games where I don't really have a set opinion yet, really, on Dolphins or Jags. This is something that's going to be, I think, as I dive into the offseason, I'm going to get a stronger take. But I'll default to taking the home team here.
I don't want to be on the Dolphins right now. Steelers heading to Atlanta. Falcons -3, -150 on the money line. Steelers +130. 43 is the total. This would dip down to 2.5. I mean, Steelers +3, very obvious position. We love the
Arthur
Steelers.
Smith revenge game.
Arthur Smith revenge game.
Tomlin against a rookie head coach.
Cordero Patterson revenge game. We can keep going down the list. You're not going to get me on the Falcons. I don't know. I have questions. So I was doing what I'm assuming all people do, and they just pull up our lads and just look at depth charts and start remembering where people are and who's doing what. And
apologies. Raheem Morris he was the head coach in Tampa for those years back in 2009 through 2009 through 2011. I forgot about that. And then he had
he was very young
interim run in 2020 as well. So.
Great. What is Zach Robinson gonna do? Calling plays. What is this defense gonna look like right away? Because they didn't get that piece that they needed on the defensive line or in the edge group. And what is the chemistry gonna be like? I mean, you have young coaches. Zach Robinson's not an old coach. These guys are younger coaches, and you're dealing with a dynamic where there's expectation. You have multiple quarterbacks. You're installing a new offense. Sure, it's similar to what Kirk Cousins did in Minnesota, but I don't know how anyone is looking at this Atlanta team and like, yeah, no, it totally makes sense that they should be on the first page of the Super Bowl odds at 14-1. I just don't see it. I'm out. +3, easiest pick on the board.
Well, it's annoying because I feel like with the draft pick, they alerted everyone to their shittiness. I feel like if they would have done what everyone wanted them to do, like basically anything but draft a quarterback number 8 overall, it would have been, okay. People would have talked themselves into this situation more. But now that they drafted Michael Penix, it's like, oh, hey, dysfunction. This isn't going to work out. Kirk Cousins' agent is mad at the team. Kirk Cousins is already pissed off at the team. Like, that could have been under the radar. That could have been our little secret that we knew the Falcons were going to suck. We knew they were overhyped, but maybe the market wouldn't have known. Very annoying that they blew our cover on.
But the number went from 3 to 2.5 and back to 3. So I'm not exactly what
I guess it's honestly that take is less this game, but more macro stuff. I feel like as we get closer to the start of the season, I think the And I feel like it's already out there. The anti-Atlanta stuff is going to be out there, where I feel like the hype train would have been building up more for Atlanta had they not wasted that pick at number 8.
I think most of the media is rooting for Atlanta versus Arthur Smith. That's the problem. This whole situation, I think whatever narrative you think, I think that there's just too much stuff that people want to root for collectively in Atlanta, whether it's the coach or the quarterback or the other quarterback or Kyle Pitts. It's just like there's all this hope that people want to have down there.
You like that? You like
Meanwhile, Arthur Smith's going to come with Justin Fields package and punch you in the fucking mouth. That's what he's going to call it, the Justin Fields package. Big and heavy.
No, he might be returning kicks. They dialed the returning kicks thing.
Imagine this kick return formation: Cordero Patterson and Justin Fields standing right next to each other. What are you going to do? You don't know what to do. Vikings.
Neither does Justin Fields, to be fair.
So we're all on the Steelers +3.
Yes.
Vikings and who, by the way, early reports, JJ McCarthy looks like shit, which is hilarious.
Well, where are these early reports?
I don't know. I
from?
just like when the aggregators say things like early reports, JJ McCarthy not playing well, often missing targets by a lot. Vikings heading to New York where they take on the Giants. By the way, Dan Jones fully go for the offseason activities, throwing with velocity. Giants laying a point -118.
Well, how you snuck that in?
The Vikings -102, 41.5 is the total. This is Sam Darnold or a rookie in their first start.
Yep, Sam Darnold. You're gonna be
fuck off.
You're gonna be enjoying, Ryan. I'm gonna present
think about
you
the
a
demons he's gonna see in that building.
Trey, what? That was
Sam
Zach
Darnold.
Wilson saw the ghosts.
What do you mean? Sam Darnold also got the ghost in New York. It was the beginning of the end of his career.
Oh, okay.
It's where his career
ultimate
started.
revenge spot for the Vikings.
How so?
Well, one, they have Justin Jefferson. I don't think anyone on that Giants defense can slow him down.
Deontay Banks.
Giants have a new defensive coordinator. That's going to be a struggle.
Shane Waldron is
Daniel Jones is coming off a bad ACL injury. And then
what do
you
mean
have
a bad ACL injury? Why do you have to qualify it?
Okay.
It was clean. He had the surgery and he's already back. He's ahead of some of the other guys who had same injury.
Daniel Jones has never been ahead of schedule. As a number 5 pick overall, he's never.
And they have Drew Lock and Nathan Rourke to go.
Oh, are they all going to play on the same at the same time?
You know, my handicap.
You can't just combine 3 quarterbacks into one, Ryan.
Brian Dable's hands with that clay. Who knows what he can make?
Yeah, I'm out on this. Now, certainly Vikings on the road.
So you're dead serious. JJ McCarthy starting. You want that plus. You want that getting less than 3 points on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think Giants are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year.
Okay. And in this state where they have not been good, they handled the Vikings no problem. So
what do you mean?
You called a revenge spot. It was revenge for that, I assumed.
Revenge for what?
How they dominated them in the playoffs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I assume that what you meant. You can't have it both ways, Sean.
Have what both ways?
This you will admit this is a bad position.
Saquon, is Saquon Barkley?
What?
Is Saquon Barkley on the team?
You can't now think Saquon Barkley is good.
No, but
this is ridiculous. Moving along.
If you're bringing up,
I don't want you to sound so silly in front of the
If you're bringing up that playoff win, he was a big part of that playoff win.
Dan Jones won that game more than Saquon Barkley. Go back and watch that. That's a bad take. Saquon Barkley did not have a lot to do with that win. He made a couple nice plays, but that was a Dan Jones playoff victory on the
You like that?
and with an assist from Kirk
Giants
Cousins.
suck at home. That's the other thing. They're better on the road. They
All
have
right.
no home field. Hey,
Sean
have you guys
likes taking rookies, catching small numbers.
Well, we don't know that yet, Ryan. There's a lot to be decided. Hey, have you signed up over at UnderdogFantasy.com yet? Get in on Best Ball Mania. $15 million in prizes. Imagine you sign up with Underdog Fantasy, use the promo code SGPN. You get your $250 up to $250 in bonus cash. That translates to 10 free shots at winning Best Ball Mania 5. Again, $15 million in prizes. It is the best way to play fantasy football. You just draft your players. You don't have to do anything else. Set it and forget it. It is the best way to play. Underdog, play fantasy football, active in a ton of states with the Pick'em, and of course, alive in Canada.
Oh, Canada, we love our beaver.
UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
It's a strong sound drop for the next Bites bracket. All right.
Yeah.
Moving along, perhaps Sean will be interested in Carolina. A lot of value here with the 5 points, plus 190 on the money line. Saints minus 220, 40.5 is the total. Every year there's a game where the spread is it's a difficult one to digest, and it ends up being right by a mile. Carolina, I have not. People are starting to do that thing where they're like, yeah, you know,
hey, the first
situation was really bad last year.
Yeah, it's not too good for him, Ryan.
No, I mean I'm starting to hear people be positive on Carolina, and I don't get it. Dave Canales does not excite me. Their draft was intriguing. I mean, if you're not familiar with the Deontay Johnson story on how he joined the team and went out to dinner with Dave Canales and had no idea he was the head coach, that's just weird. How does that not come up? How does Dave Canales not bring it up?
How do you not Google like your what your coach looks like?
Adam Thielen and Deontay Johnson are great receivers that do a certain kind of thing really well, but this is going to be the same problem. They don't have anything to stretch the defense. I'm not super confident they're going to have any sort of consistent running game. They were okay at that down the stretch, and their defense is big question. But the problem is the Saints aren't that good, and the Saints laying 5 at home, a place where they haven't been as strong as they have been, or they used to be, especially early in the season. And like I said, I feel like we see this type of spot every year, and it's impossible to take the Panthers plus 5, but there's no way the Saints are covering the number. This closes 3.5, I think.
Yeah. Really?
It's just too. Yeah, it's too big.
Well, I mean, it is one of those things. I feel like we always bring up this trend, and I don't have it in front of me. This is again the dress rehearsal for the Week 1 Picks podcast. But I mean, we always like division dogs, right? Let's take a look at although let's take a look at some division dogs in 2023 Week 1. Carolina catching 3.5 at Atlanta did not come through.
Well, but we were on Atlanta.
Yes. No, I'm just kind of going over it. Cleveland,
to fade Bryce.
Cleveland, 2.5 point home dog against the Bengals. That did come through. Indy, I took +5. You took the Jags laying the 5. Jags won and covered. Let's see some of these
Colts
other.
Don't win early.
It's true. Green Bay won and covered as a dog, 38-20 in Chicago. Denver. Did not win. The dog came through again. Raiders +3.5. They won outright against the Broncos, and I think that was Rams Seattle. Rams came through. Giants. Ryan, do you remember what happened? Giants Cowboys. That was the division game.
Oh yeah.
Dog there was the Giants, and that dog got run over by a Mack truck. They lost 40-0. I don't know if you remember that game, Ryan.
Be careful looking in that rear view mirror.
Yeah, you might see the dog that was the Giants get run over. Jets won and covered as a dog Monday night. So dogs are barking. I don't know. This feels like a close your eyes special, even though it's not. I'm gonna take the Panthers. I think. This is gonna be tough though.
They've played a lot of close games recently on the road in New Orleans. So
but Bryce Young is so tiny.
They lost by 8 last year. Year before they lost by 3. There's some. I'm taking the points.
Yeah, it's ugly, but I'm doing it.
2 of my least favorite teams this year. Patriots, they take to the road, taking on Cincinnati. Bengals laying 9 points, -405 on the money line, +325 for Brissett or Drake May. Drake May still a nice 2.5 to 1 dog. 43 is the total. This is a huge number. I mean, the Bengals are a slow starter.
Yeah,
we know that, right? This New England team's just going to ground and pound. If things don't start.
Yeah, I mean,
now Joe Burrow's got a shoulder issue that's going to be forever.
There is like a lot of rumblings about Joe Burrow's arms not completely 100%. That is certainly troubling.
7.5, right? Does it get to
I
7?
don't know. I don't know if this moves much. I mean, we'll see if May looks sharp in the preseason.
Do we have money splits?
I don't know. I don't know if anyone's reporting money splits.
Yep. We have money splits.
We really?
Oh yeah. 77% of the bets on Cincy here.
Yeah, I think you got to go Pats here.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
It's going to be Brissett.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett and 9 points. Now, we went over what quarterback would be the day one starter. We gave out Drake May at like plus 350. The market's shifted a bunch. I think maybe the plus 225 currently still worth a small sprinkle. That being said, 9 points is a lot, Ryan, in the National Football League. This is great. Like having the spreads up and comparing them to last year. Because the biggest spread last year was Washington lane 7, which was insane. And I was on the Cardinals there plus 7, almost won outright, got the cover.
My only concern here is the Patriots could be like, if they do start Drake May and they're just like, fuck it, we're going to develop this year. Maybe it starts out poorly. There's always that 31-10 spot opening. Oh, the Bengals Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, and I'm pretty skeptical of Gerard Mayo as a head coach. So yeah, there's a lot to kind of figure out.
It opened 9.5. I think it does close closer to 7.5. So I'll get on little CLV pickup. It's a number. All right, another 10 a.m. spot. Tennessee, Chicago, the Bears. Caleb Williams opening his career as a 4.5 point favorite, minus 195 on the money line. Tennessee plus 170. 43 is the total. You want to? All right, so
Ryan, we're already too emotionally invested in this Titans team. I've been watching the press stuff of Canales. I don't know what it is. I fall in love with this Titans team.
You mean you don't mean Canales? Because we're not on Canales. We're on Callahan.
Sorry.
A Callahan auto.
Yeah. Canales is the
loser with the wrote the book.
Yeah. He's the Panthers' new head coach.
All right. So
Callahan, you're right. Callahan auto on board with the Tennessee Titans. Rookie quarterbacks is favorites. Now and this Tennessee Titans team is decent. Of course, Minnesota, if they do start a quarterback, they are as a dog, not as a favorite. 4.5 points. I think this Bears team, Caleb Williams, they could win, but again, Tennessee, I think Will Levis is primed to make a jump. Now, maybe he ends up sucking, but I think this feels like a classic field goal game.
I didn't want to have that tape earlier, but there is the like rookie who played last year, now has full off season, team committed around him.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it about Bryce Young, but it's kind of it is similar to the Bryce Young situation. There was a little bit more hope out of Tennessee. I truly don't understand how this number could be 4.5. I understand that there are sharp minds out there who are anti Tennessee, but I don't quite get it. Their price is so low. This is a tremendous price to be laying with Caleb Williams for his first start. New offense, team running not bringing up new offense. That doesn't matter. And what is the one thing I trust that this Tennessee team is going to be at least solid at right off the bat?
Line play.
I think the offensive line will be serviceable.
And you want to know why the Eagles have gotten off to hot starts, especially with Jeff Stoutland. They have a good offensive line. You know, while teams are still figuring things out before you get the tape on how to play teams.
Yeah, just beat them.
It's just dudes in the trenches. So you should always value line play in the National Football League, but especially early. The same reason that defense is ahead of the offense in preseason. A lot of that stuff applies to September football, which, as we've seen, is a feeling out portion for a lot of these teams. And there are teams that end up being bad that start out 2-0 and surprise you.
Yeah, we got to do like some sort of like overrated, underrated graphic for teams, because Chicago is in the running with Atlanta for my most overrated teams in the league from a gambling perspective. Just unbelievable the price of the Bears right now in this economy, Sean.
So you're on the Titans plus 4.5.
Of course. Naturally. Arizona.
Oh, right. Back to back your teams.
Well, I also like the Bills. I'm not completely out on the Bills. I do like Josh Allen. I do like the idea that everyone else on the team didn't matter and it's just about Josh Allen and Sean McDermott. Nothing to do with Brian Dable and his hands working in that clay. Arizona, the Cardinals plus 7.5, plus 260 on the money line, minus 310 for the Bills. Josh Allen in the pit for the schedule release video was one of the more solid ones. We love the pit here on the Sports Gambling Podcast. 48.5 is the total. As much as I love Josh Allen and the Bills, I love this Cardinals team, and this is probably the biggest value you're going to get. Not going to be bad weather. It's opening week. We saw this Cardinals team kind of have some early intrigue last season. Kyler, a lot to prove. Marvin Harrison, the whole Marvin Harrison players union thing is potentially going to get spicy, but yeah, you can't cross Marvin Harrison Sr. That's just the
that's a bad
why
idea.
Nothing's happened.
That's a bad idea.
No. I mean, if there's like a Boeing type incident with someone at Fanatics, just they sued Marvin Harrison Jr.
The CEO of Fanatics was assassinated with a musket ball from a rare antique gun. Just Google Marvin Harrison antique.
You've said too much. All right, so I have Gannon Coach of the Year.
Ryan, are you worried that the spread is now 7.5? Some reason you're a guy who likes to get suspicious here with.
What do you mean?
Well, I feel like you're a guy. Oh, hey, if it's 3 versus 3.5, oh, they want you to take the 3.5. Aren't they baiting us here? Aren't they baiting us into Arizona 7.5? I'm with you. I like Arizona 7.5, but I also feel like it's a carrot underneath a box, and I'm like, I could go for a carrot.
I think it's very unlikely this spread doesn't close 7. I think that one team we are going to agree on, or at least I know you're kind of in on Arizona. I'm all the way in on Arizona.
Skeptical. I think they're interesting in they have a ceiling, right? And I don't think their ceiling is correctly priced. That being said, I don't know if I'm going to pick them to go like 10-7 or 11-6.
No, but them to come. I mean, you're gonna to get ahead of the market. You want to jump on the early stuff, and it also kind of eliminates non-conference. It doesn't matter, right? Everyone's got the juice flowing. It's week 1. You're going against Josh. This is a great measuring stick game for the Cardinals, and I think they have a lot built on this season. So unless we get a bunch of negative stuff coming out of the offseason, I think this line probably closes 7. And I love the Cardinals. Give me all the points. All right. Last of the early games. Houston heads to Indy, where the Colts are 2.5-point home dogs, plus 110 on the money line, minus 130 for the Texans. 48.5 is the total. You're not supposed to lay the 2.5, but the Colts have not won a home opener, a week 1 game since 2013.
Yes.
So I don't see what we're talking about here.
No, I got cute last year and took them in the points. I thought it was going to be a field goal game. That didn't end up happening.
And it was the Jags, and the Jags
are always a team you want to fade early.
No, not always.
No, I feel like they've started off slow.
Not under Doug P. Right?
I'll do some digging on.
It's only 3. I'll pull it.
It's a very small sample size either way. So if it supports my case, I'll point it out. If it doesn't, I will fade it. Yeah, I'm with you. I as much as I find Anthony Richardson pretty interesting fantasy wise. I like Shane Steichen as a head coach. I like the Colts draft. I like a lot of the stuff the Colts are doing. I think this is a Houston minus 2.5 all day. Like there's obviously something going on with that team and that franchise that they cannot figure out how to win opening day.
Yeah. No, I mean it spans coaches, it spans quarterbacks.
Don't overthink it. Houston minus 2.5.
Yeah, I want to say I should have dug into my flow chart notes. I also think this is a positive flow chart situation, but the flow chart is trumped by Indy's right now. Right now the table's hot. We just got to fade Indy. But I failed to mention it earlier, but producer Josh with a four-figure bet on Tennessee cracks me up.
It's always dangerous when us two and then producer Josh like goes over the top with also agreement. It's just a little dangerous for us as a crew.
All right,
we just gotta tread lightly.
Early afternoon games. I went back and double checked this one because I couldn't believe it. The Chargers are laying 3.5 points at home against the Raiders. If you don't know, you don't know ball, but the Raiders are a home team when they play this game in SoFi. The Chargers -180 on the money line, Raiders +160, 43.5 is the total. Antonio Brown is going to rally the city of Los Angeles to show up to this game. This is going to be a glorious money line spot for us. Harbaugh, who by the way, we think we're I guess I'm a Harbaugh guy now. I used to not be a Harbaugh guy. Now I'm a Harbaugh guy, but Harbaugh, I do wonder if it's going to start fast. I don't know.
This is,
and both these teams are going to run the ball. So what? 43.5? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm not total guy. This needs to be like a Hall of Fame game. This needs to be like 38.
I know I just made a case for division dogs, but
whoa, what's going on? What are you doing?
But
are you serious right now?
I mean, Ryan, Jim Harbaugh versus Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce preparing for a Jim Harbaugh team, I think, is an insane mismatch. This is going to be a coaching clinic that Harbaugh is going to put on Antonio Pierce.
This is the game where because Harbaugh doesn't know, like Harbaugh doesn't listen to other people. He has to experience stuff. And this is going to be the game where he learns that they don't have home field advantage. And this is going to cause him to rally and get Chargers fans to come out. You're insane to lay this number.
Nope. No, I mean, you're insane to think Antonio Pierce is going to cover against Harbaugh.
Okay. Harbaugh in game 1 of a new gig.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew on the road.
It's a home game for him. It's not a road game. Stop it. You can't make that face. You know that the Raiders are going to have this entire building.
Well, I don't.
You've been to games there.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying regarding the home field. What I think is going to be different is Harbaugh is going to bring juice and excitement into this building. No one on that Raiders team knows what Harbaugh is going to do. We see this all the time. Rookie head coaches, or not rookie head coaches, but a guy like Harbaugh coming back in this spot is going to have a massive advantage. He's going to have a shit ton of film on how to play the Raiders. He's going to bring physicality, intensity, tackling. What's been the knock on the Chargers the entire time we've known Justin Decker? They have a shit ton of talent every year in, year out, and they can't get anything out of it because they have the soft. Yep. You said the S word, right?
You're making my argument for me.
Yeah,
He's not turning the roster over quick enough. No. And you know who's tougher? Antonio Pierce and this Raiders team.
So you fell for his macho tough guy thing?
Love it. Give me the hydraulics, the fucking South Central, all of it. Raiders.
Hey Ryan, you mentioned
I'm off the Chargers wagon. I'm a Raiders fan, Sean, officially.
You mentioned SoFi Stadium, and I'm looking at over on GameTime.co and the Game Time app. I'm using the promo code SGPN, so I get my $20 off, which I've already done. But obviously, you should do it if you haven't already. Download the Game Time app. I'm looking at the Eagles at the Rams, SoFi Stadium, Sunday, November 24th. I'm seeing a flash deal for $100 in this economy. Come on, Game Time is your go-to app for last-minute tickets, and I'm not gonna buy the tickets now. I'm gonna wait till the last minute. I don't know how many people. It's always like, oh, hey, is so and so coming? Oh, they can't make it. My buddy Justin from the Die Hard Eagles podcast, he likes to come in. He's flying in from Hawaii. He flies standby because his wife gets it for free. So sometimes he doesn't get the ticket in time.
Jesus.
It's Game Time is why is that crazy?
I'm just saying it's a lot to do.
Well, but luckily, Ryan, I have Game Time, your go-to spot, your go-to app for last-minute tickets. Get the best deals on tickets to sports, music, and theater events. GameTime.co, promo code SGPN.
I will say I did. I think I mentioned it, but I was using the old Game Time to get a little NWSL action.
Whoa, not safe for work.
I think that's the it's the lady soccer league, also not safe for work. All right, Well, we're not in Brazil anymore, so you got to be careful. We're in Tampa. Actually, no, we're in Tampa.
Yeah,
so
go
get your gun. We're in Tampa. The Redskins, aka the football team, aka the Commanders, are in town. 105 kick here on the West Coast. The Bucks laying 4 -195 on the money line. Commanders plus 170. 41.5 is the total. Got Jaden Daniels and company, Cliff Kingsbury heading back down to SEC country, and the Bucks are basically running it back. Todd Bowles brought back Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, Godwin. You were excited about them last year. They kind of got to the expectation. Are you excited that they're running back?
Well, they won the division.
Yeah, that was the expectation that you had for them.
Oh yes, for me, yeah. So, but certainly not in the market.
So
they were 9-1 to win the NFC South.
So that's how you humbly tout that your expectation was. So are you excited about them this time around? Now that they're running it back with the same unit? Not particularly, right? Like I think. The NFC South is just kind of a meh division. I mean, again, part of why I like the Bucks is just because I thought, it was the price, right? Like I thought they had just as good a shot as any of these other teams to win the division. So part of it was that. Now it's like. I don't know. Like, are you excited about the Tampa Bay? It feels like, to your point, they're kind of running it back. Mike Evans a year older, that could always be troublesome. I'm not one to doubt Mike Evans. All that being said, you're fading a rookie quarterback on the road in a pretty tough spot. So, and this is a mark it on your schedule grid. And again, we have a printable schedule grid on the website. Yep.
Just search NFL schedule grid, Sports Gambling Podcast. You can find it. This is a heat and humidity game for sure. I mean, opening a Sunday. I don't think this is even either way, if it's afternoon or early kick. Yeah, so it is the afternoon kick, but it's still going to be hot as shit down there. Humid as all get out in Tampa Bay. For a rookie quarterback. Now, Jaden Daniels is LSU, so probably somewhat familiar with the conditions, but I still think this is going to be a giant thermometer game, where they have the giant thermometer on the sideline. Now it feels like 120 here.
Sun's hitting it. Yeah. So new offensive coordinator for the Bucks. Do you know who it is?
I do. I do want you to say it. Yes.
Not Dave. So Dave Canales was a big run first guy. Todd Bowles still a defensive head coach, minded head coach.
Yeah, Todd Bowles versus a rookie quarterback. I like that matchup.
So Liam Cohen comes in. He was from Rhode Island, was a 4-year starter at UMass, Sean, where he was roommates with Victor Cruz, who you and your father once danced when he had that career-ending injury.
Salsa.
Still holds some of their anyway. Yeah, I wonder if he kind of comes from his background is interesting because he coached under McVay, but it kind of seems like he was fired twice by McVay, or at least he left.
Yeah.
To not. So I don't know who this guy is, what he is. It seems like he coached in Kentucky. Nothing he's done is super exciting. So perhaps this will just be another Dave Canales type where he just has a heavy run first methodology because his head coach is a defensive guy. I'm with you though. I like the heat and humidity aspect of this one, and I think Jaden Daniels starting fast just seems less likely. For Cliff Kingsbury starting fast, none of that makes sense to me.
Although to their credit, the Cardinals under Cliff were a fast starting team.
Yeah.
And had some epic collapses. I think
it's true.
We got to pull up Cliff Kingsbury's, and maybe producer Josh can find the nugget. Like his record in the first half, both in college and pros, was comical. What the split was on it, but again, to me, the matchup is Todd Bowles versus rookie quarterback. That's kind of all I need.
Also a defensive-minded head coach who loves the blitz versus a quarterback who loves to drop his eye level and scramble. You don't think he's going to induce him into some scrambles?
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's an interesting DFS play, Jaden Daniels, because he'll be probably pretty cheap and might rack up some rushing yards.
I'm thinking the old smart head coach might trick him into running a couple times, and he's going to take those hits might be coming early against this Tampa team. They will eat. I like that angle. -4. I wonder if it gets bigger. Denver, the Broncos, they're heading to Seattle. It's almost like Rush should be in this game, but he's not. The Seahawks are laying 5 here, Sean. -225 on the money line. Bo Nix, probably, maybe Jared Stidham +195.
Not
42 is the total. Anything can happen, Sean.
Yeah, but also
Jared Stidham does know Sean Payton's system.
It's true. This one's interesting because I think I'm cautiously optimistic about the Broncos. I think I'm going to be higher than market on the Broncos for a season, but this also could be Bo Nix on the road, non-conference road spot. But I don't
think that matters week 1.
Well, the other thing that I think is, again, you got Sean Payton. I think a pretty big coaching mismatch, right? And coaching mismatches especially pop their head up NFL week 1 because you're sure they're doing stuff for the preseason. They're figuring out but essentially it's like 2 weeks to prepare at least for most of these guys, game plan wise.
Yeah, I mean it's everything, right? There's also the element of
Mike McDonald's 36. Sean Payton has bongs older than Mike McDonald.
Yeah, you do.
Woo! It's smoking my weed.
Right, I'm trying. Do we have that?
Josh almost certainly has it bookmarked and ready to. I'm guessing Josh will be able to find it quickly. But yeah, the Sean Payton video is epic. I hear you. And even with the McDonald, the Seattle defense was not something we were excited about last year. You have to remember that. And Sean, they went out and traded for Sam Howell. Geno Smith is I would say a fragile asset at best. I like their pass catchers. I think. Don't you think Denver's going to have a good defense?
Yeah. No. I mean, that's the thing. Like
Jared Stidham on the road here.
I like Denver. I'm going to be higher on market than Denver. Yeah, I'm going to go Denver +5. This is a game I could see myself changing my opinion on.
Maybe, but you can't lay 5 points with Seattle.
And I think Geno quietly sucks now. Not enough people have noticed that Geno Smith sucks. I was on that. He sucked the whole time. I've nailed this Seattle thing. 2 years ago, I'm like, they're going to surprise people. Pete Carroll has some pride, and he's not going to be the worst team in the league. They surprise people. Then I'm like, hey, they surprised some people, but he kind of fell off the second half of the season. Didn't have a good year. Pete Carroll's gone. That's the other thing. Pete Carroll, I think, was doing some stuff with that defense to get them playing to a high. I think they're going to notice the lack of talent on that Seattle defense.
Seattle is a very interesting situation, like in terms of teams that could completely crater.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle picking top 5 in the draft would not shock me. It would.
All right. Sam Howell randomly being the starting quarterback. Day 1 would be pretty.
I mean, I think the Commanders are crazy to get rid of Sam Howell that soon. I get why they did it.
It doesn't fit Cliff's system.
But he's a quarterback on a rookie deal that looked promising in a couple starts. I think it's way too early to give up on Sam Howell.
I'm glad he's gone.
Will he turn out? Who knows? But I think, like, considering how valuable the quarterback position is, considering you got him for free on a rookie deal, he was definitely. If you're a quarterback, if I was the Giants, I would have tried to bring in Sam Howell.
You know who else wasn't a perfect fit for Cliff Kingsbury's system? Patrick Mahomes in college.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the system. Dallas, last of the afternoon's game. So we got 4 games late. Dallas heads to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Browns +2, +105 on the money line, -125 for the Cowboys. 44 is the total. They got Zeke back. And fun fact, we were talking about Tennessee earlier. Brian Callahan got his dad coming back to coach the offensive line because the Cleveland Browns released him from his contract. Good all-time good guy move from a franchise owned by a guy who was stealing pennies from people as they are pumping their gas. Obviously we're on
scam.
Obviously we're on the Browns. Any chance it's not Deshaun Watson to start the season?
No, Joe Flacco's in Indy.
Well, I know that. There's other quarterbacks on the roster here.
Who else is on that roster, Ryan?
PJ Walker still there? Who else we got?
Is Brad Ward, Cleveland Browns insider, in the chat still? Ryan, how do you not mention Jameis?
I know. That's where we're getting to.
No, Jameis. I mean,
is he starter? Is Jameis Winston the starting quarterback for the Browns week 1? Why can't I bet on that yet?
I'll let you. I'll bet. I'll take that bet.
So many things can happen, dude, including massage parlors.
Yeah. But Deshaun Watson, they paid him too much money. He is going to be the starter.
Not if he gets caught again.
And he's going to get a win. Amari Cooper revenge game. You got a physical Browns team, a very good defensive line against a Dallas Cowboys offensive line that's falling apart. You got fat ass Zeke.
Yes.
Who's going to struggle to move the ball.
Not eat. And he might. It's the food's good up there.
And they're not playing the New York Giants, so they're not going to cruise to a 40-0 victory.
Wow. 73% of the bets in on the Dallas Cowgirls. So
what are you doing, Ryan? Taking the Dallas?
I'm going to take Cleveland, and let me be the first to say I love this in a teaser leg with that defense against Dak. By the lake, maybe there's some wind, some moisture. Sunday Night Football. We got the Jared Goff, Matt Stafford, weird revenge Sunday Night Football spot. Kind of worked out for both teams, as they would highlight. Although Detroit does not have a Super Bowl like the Rams do, they pretty much rebuilt their franchise off that trade and all the draft picks they had to. It's still funny that Jared Goff, they wouldn't take Jared Goff in 1 first-round pick. You need to put that second first-round pick for us to take Jared Goff. Meanwhile, they just re-signed him.
Yeah.
Jared Goff now laying 3.5 -190 on the money line. Rams +165. 51 is the total.
Yeah. I'll just run back my take from the playoffs. I like Stafford in this game. I like Stafford. I mean, this Rams, I think Detroit, I don't know if Detroit did enough to fix their defense. I think they're going to be good. I certainly underestimated them coming into last season. They figured it out, got a nice cover against the 49ers. Should have won that fucking game, but
they did the right thing by taking a bunch of defensive backs, but they don't generally help you right away.
Yeah. And I think Rams still, are a win now team. This feels like a field goal game, like Detroit winning and not covering, definitely in the mix here. I like this Rams team.
Yeah, why is this 3.5?
Because I would imagine that's what was the playoff spread? It was 3.5.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, I guess it makes sense. It does. To your point, I mean, I like the Lions. But it's still hard to.
Yeah, Rams were catching 3 in Detroit, but I feel like it closed 3.5.
To me, it's a 3 point. It should be 3. That's the right number. I think once you get to 3.5, it's a little too easy to take the Rams. And I like the Lions. I don't think the Lions are an overrated team this year. So
this I think will close Lions 3.
Yeah, 100%. Give me the 3.5. All right, Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers again. I think Underdog is Underdog running a promo. 3.5 plays.
Well, they did have a Jalen Brunson promo. Now he did go higher than 0.5 points, but he also did break his hand in the game 7.
You got to look after these. Maybe check into what they're up to over there. Jets on the road out to the Bay Area, aka where Aaron Rodgers was born. Apparently has some rocky relationship with his family. I'm sure it won't be brought up at all. San Francisco -5.5, -225 on the money line. Jets +195. 46 is the total. I saw Aaron Rodgers was saying that when you get old, if you don't perform anymore, they just get rid of you. He's really clear. This guy is really locked in. He is really locked in. And if he is locked in, you love this number. Right? If Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers,
when they released the schedule and I saw the Jets were opening up on Monday night and I did the whole thing about how they should have him run out with the flag.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't in my head. They were also opening up at home, but I think weirdly, this is a
soft grass out there.
This is he's going back to the Bay Area. He's going back against a 49ers team that's coming off the Super Bowl loss. Might be a little tough to get up for that game. I think the Jets have a very good defense. I think if there is one game Rodgers is getting up for, it's this one. Little Salah revenge game. I think he knows this defense, what to do against it. Now, 49ers do start off well usually, but I'll take the 5.5.
But the last time they were coming off a loss in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, they opened up against the Arizona Cardinals as favorites.
Oh my God!
Kyler Murray came in there and beat their ass on the road.
Maybe a live dog, right?
Maybe a live dog. So, yeah, I can't help but think if Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, I think I'm coming around on my any sort of negative hatred towards the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers won back to back, I just keep repeating this in my head. In the last 6 NFL seasons, 3 men have won the MVP, and they've all done it twice: Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Maybe this fucking weird voodoo shit he's into is going to help his Achilles.
Maybe I should stop using AirPods, right?
If I assume he's healthy, well, I don't know about some of that stuff, but if I and he's not wrong also about that stuff. If I assume he stays healthy, I have to like this team in this spot. The San Francisco 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, have proven before they don't have the cure to a Super Bowl hangover early in the season. Not in prime time. This also is money line consideration. Sean, would you like to do a lock dog tease, or maybe we skip that because it's so far away? Maybe we just do leans. You want to just do a couple leans?
No, Ryan. We're doing our lock,
two
dog,
locks
and tease. 2 locks. Should
we do our Circa Millions too?
No, that's pushing it. Audience,
how about Survivor?
Should we do 3 locks?
What do you mean 3 locks?
Come on, Ryan. We got to change some things about the show. 3 locks, I think, is fun because it guarantees an outcome, unless you go 1-1-1. But for the most part, it's annoying 1-1 weeks with the locks would be my counter.
All right. Why don't we just do 6 locks then?
Why 6?
I don't know.
No, but then that defeats the purpose. 6 is an even number, Ryan.
7.
7? All right, I could give you 7 locks right now. We could do 5 locks.
I mean, I don't give a shit.
I do want to get rid of the tease. No more teasing. Yep.
Really?
R.I.P. to the tease.
Really?
If you'd like us to continue to give out 3 team teases,
this is weird.
Tweet us at Gambling Podcast.
I think Sean's turning into this is some sort of weird tout transition period.
No, touts love teases. I mean, you could, if you're a tout, you love saying that would make a great teaser leg without actually ever teasing it.
Yeah,
Ryan, give us your lock, dog, and tease and bonus lock.
The tease is one of my favorite segments on the show. I'll start with it. That's how much I love it. Cleveland, I told you how much I love that teaser leg.
Yep,
it's pretty good. Not a lot of Wong teaser activity here, so we'll lean into the if Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers angle, and we'll move that up to 11.5. And then, come on. You're telling me we can get Will Levis and this Tennessee Titans team plus 10.5 points?
Okay.
In this, all right. Dog. I told you a couple dogs were interesting, but I do think this Raiders invasion of Los Angeles and Antonio Pierce just rallying the city of Los Angeles to care about the Raiders again. That's I'm signing up for that. Harbaugh will have the Chargers back, just not in game 1. All right, double tap the lock. We got to go Pittsburgh. That was the easiest one to throw out there. And the second one is this Arizona Cardinals team, 7.5, big number, probably closes short of that. And yeah, if there's one game that's going to disappoint me the most this season, it's when Buffalo beats Arizona 31-3, and I'm like, fuck. All right, which one are you cop? No, what Pittsburgh plus 3? Why are you trying to give me 2.5?
Oh, that's what in my head. That's what the.
Yeah, it went to 2.5, and now it's back to 3.
All right, for my dog. I mean, Tennessee on the money line. I enjoy that.
Shit, how did I not get Tennessee in there?
Yeah, I thought you were going to be all over that, right?
Yeah, you know what? Switch Arizona to Tennessee on the lock. Actually, go 3 locks. There you go. Add a 3rd lock.
Okay,
get in there. Tennessee plus 4.5.
Are we allowed to do this?
Sure. I mean, it seems like a lot. But now that I see that this is all about angling to get rid of the tease.
Yes.
I've been on to you.
What are you on to? I said I want to do this so we get rid of the tease. All right. Tennessee money line is my dog. Lock. It's a bunch of interesting locks.
Don't like the tease. Unbelievable. Classic. I mean, a 3-team teaser. It's classic.
I am going to lock up KC -3. Andy Reid at home, week 1. The more I think about it, the more that one's coming home.
So the NFL tries to get rid of the chain gang, and you try to get rid of the tease, all in the same day.
Houston -2.5. The Indy thing is real.
Whoa.
CJ Stroud, let's go. And then other lock. Oof. I'll take Rams +3.5. Like that.
That's not bad.
For my tease, I like your Jets up to 11.5. Ryan,
I thought you were gonna skip the tease.
I'll do Cleveland +8.
Wow.
And I gotta have one favorite.
No, you don't.
This is interesting because I don't like any. There aren't really any good teasable favorites down.
No. If you liked Buffalo, you can still like Buffalo to teaser. I've heard plenty of people say they like Arizona.
No, I'm not doing that.
Tampa Bay over to +2.
Yeah, I'm going to do Tampa Bay +2 because I think this ends up closing closer to 6.
And you don't want to do the teaser anymore.
Nope.
It's, you know what? We're mid-off season. You forgot what the teaser segment's all about.
All right. Hey everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you get in on the Patreon Pick'em. Kramer, we forgot to announce it. What is the Patreon Pick'em prize for this week?
I don't know. I didn't have it written down. What was it? Oh, we haven't determined it yet.
Yep. What do you got?
Oh wow. On the spot. Well, we have some shirts lying around the office. We could do that. We have some. Do we want to include a random prop from a previous show? We have some of those lying around. We got a broken mic arm. Think anyone wants a broken mic arm? No. I keep wanting to say we need it. This is the week 1. You know, it should be $100 ticket for a week 1 NFL. We just talked about the week 1. I know it's a long time away. That feels like the right thing to do.
Okay, we'll do $100 cash for you to put in a week 1 NFL pick.
What would you, if you had to pick one, Sean? What would your $100 cash go on?
Oh, one of my locks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But which one?
Yeah, I would take Texans -2.5. I know we just did the whole thing on division dogs, but it's pretty close to a pick 'em there. So yeah, give me Houston -2.5.
Nice. That's what we do. We have 3 locks, but we have one that's our main lock.
Try locks.
We do a mega lock. We do like the super lock, and then just the regular locks.
Yeah.
This is my
double
mega whale lock.
2-unit lock, and then 2 1-unit locks.
And maybe we start having the donkey play of the week.
It's Dominic the Donkey.
I would put all the money on Pittsburgh for me.
All right.
And Arthur Smith personally. He's very pissed about it. I don't think people realize how angry Arthur Smith was about that whole situation.
Smash that subscribe button. Toss us a nice rating review. I'm waiting for some reviews. I got some gift cards burning a hole in my pocket. SGPN May 15% off everything in the merch store.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Under hour 29 minutes and 30 seconds cashes.
Kramer, let it ride.